Right now on News 8 at 10, Memorial Day and COVID-19.
I think it's wonderful. We're both vaccinated, so that's why we decided to travel. I'm sure a lot of people are feeling the same way as we are.
With the holiday travel rush well underway, we take a look at how travel could fuel coronavirus infections in the coming weeks. Plus, pushing for a special election.
This petition drive isn't about electing a Democrat. It's about being able to elect who serves as county auditor.
After a new auditor was appointed earlier this week, voters are collecting thousands of signatures demanding transparency. And the John Deere Classic.
This is our number one fun time, I think, for all the wives. They really enjoy it, and sometimes we get in trouble.
This year marks 50 years for the major event. We'll show you how it's changed over the decades. That and more on this Memorial Day weekend edition of WQAD News 8 at 10.
You're watching WQAD News 8 at 10.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for News 8 at 10. I'm David Bohlman. New at 10, police have made an arrest in connection with the fatal shooting that happened in Silvis yesterday. Local attorneys tell us Cordell Thomas is the suspect in custody. I spoke with Rock Island County State's Attorney Dora Villarreal this afternoon, who tells me Thomas will have an initial court appearance in Rock Island County tomorrow morning. Now to the latest in the fight against the coronavirus. Millions of Americans are expected to take to the road and to the skies this weekend. On Friday, TSA screened the most passengers in one day since the pandemic began. And demand for gas is up despite the highest prices at the pump in years. Aika Giacchi leads us off tonight.
This Memorial Day weekend is poised to look more like holidays did before the coronavirus pandemic.
If you're vaccinated, go enjoy your Memorial Day weekend.
AAA says 34 million travelers are expected to hit the roads. According to Gas Buddy, demand for gas on Friday was up 42% from the same Friday last year, even with gas prices at a 7-year high. The national average now just over $3 a gallon. Airlines are gearing up for the increased travel. The TSA projected to screen more than 6 million passengers through the weekend, nearly 2 million passing through security checkpoints on Friday alone, setting a new pandemic one-day air travel record.
I think it's wonderful. We're both vaccinated, so that's why we decided to travel. I'm sure a lot of people are feeling the same way as we are.
Masks are still required in airports and while on planes.
The mask mandate is a federal mandate in airports and on airplanes, and that's going to hold true probably until mid-September.
Nearly 60% of eligible Americans having received at least one dose of vaccine. This weekend, New Jersey and Massachusetts becoming the latest states to drop their mask mandates.
We're getting our lives back. Stores and restaurants up and down Main Street are hanging open signs on their front doors.
And as the unofficial start of summer kicks off, the CDC, with its recommendations for camps, no masks or social distance for kids who are fully vaccinated, unvaccinated children should still wear masks, and everyone should wear masks in crowded settings. Aika Giacchi, ABC News, Washington.
The Camden Center in Milan, which has served as a main coronavirus vaccination site for the area for months, hosted its last vaccine clinic today. Starting as a 90-day mass vaccination site, the clinic ran alongside the Illinois National Guard. The mass vaccination site is responsible for 40% of all Rock Island County vaccinations.
But it signals a change in strategy. We are going to do a little bit more pop-up clinics here and there, and we're going to be moving to the health department on Tuesdays and Fridays. Tuesday is Johnson & Johnson and Moderna. Friday will be Pfizer.
Of course, the Camden Center isn't the only place in the Quad Cities where you can get a vaccine. You can find a vaccine nearest you at WQAD.com. Just click on our vaccine tab. Tonight, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says 43% of Iowans and 39% of Illinoisans are fully vaccinated. Over to weather now. It turned out to be an overall just beautiful day. The temperatures were great, not a lot of humidity. Storm Track 8 meteorologist Andrew Stetsky is in the Weather Center with the first check of the forecast.
Hi, David. Big improvement compared to what we had yesterday, getting full sunshine back, a little bit of a breeze, but that sun really making a difference, especially with our temperatures. Look where we started this morning. No new record for us here in the Quad Cities. That record was 34. We only got down to 41. But up towards Dubuque, Clinton, Sterling, Rock Falls, even as far south as Galesburg, getting some frost this morning with the cold temperatures into the 30s. Thankfully, we're not going to see a repeat of that tonight. As we look live at our Bridgepoint camera, all is quiet across the Quad Cities. Temperature-wise, we're still in the 50s at this hour. And I think for lows tonight, we won't drop any further than the low 40s, sitting at 51 degrees right now in Moline. There you see we're down to about 42 degrees as we kick off your Sunday. We'll still get the sun tomorrow, though deal with a few more clouds. But we're not going to be looking at any rain, thankfully, as we head into Memorial Day itself. I'll show you just how much warmer it will be here in the days ahead. Some nice warmth moving in. Plus, when we could see our first taste of some 90-degree weather, it is a lot closer than you think, and we're tracking that coming up.
With this weekend being Memorial Day weekend, the city of Davenport took a moment to honor all of the heroes who have passed on. Today's memorial was hosted at the Davenport City Cemetery and included the raising of the U.S. flag, an honor guard presentation by the Davenport American Legion, and placing U.S. flags on veteran graves.
Never forget the people who went before us and answered the call when the country asked us to help.
Free U.S. flags were also given to everyone who attended. The military is trying to deal with the issue of COVID vaccine hesitancy. The Military Times reports the Army has the lowest rate of vaccinations. Marines and sailors are about 50% more likely to get the shot. Veterans Administration is also looking to get retired servicemen and women vaccinated. The VA has held town hall meetings and offered information to veterans as well to get more of them vaccinated against the coronavirus.
We've had a great response from the veterans in regards to they've been very grateful and eager to get their vaccines. So we still provide the education and the communication for our veterans that don't believe or are hesitant to get the vaccines.
We'll also hear what the VA is doing to help more veterans get quicker medical care in rural areas. Cindy McGee is our guest tomorrow morning at 10 on News 8 This Week with Jim Mertens. Today, demonstrators came together outside the Bettendorf Police Department to protest against police brutality. Organizers say peaceful protest was created in response to recent killing of many Black Americans, including George Floyd and Breonna Taylor. Organizers tell us while there has been steps taken in the right direction against police brutality, the work is not over, and they will continue to lift their voice until they see the changes made.
2020 brought a lot of good change, but there's still so much to be done, and that's our goal, is to keep the momentum going, make sure that this problem actually gets fixed.
Again, organizers say they plan to keep protesting until they see a stop to police brutality. After Scott County Auditor Roxana Mortiz left the position in April, the Scott County Board of Supervisors appointed her replacement this past Tuesday. But as News 8's Josh Lamberty reports, a group of Scott County voters are looking to force a special election, saying they want the voters to decide who takes the seat.
Just a small table in a Bettendorf parking lot is all a group of Scott County voters need as they fight for an election.
We're out here drumming up support for a petition for a special election to elect the Scott County Auditor.
Alicia Gaiman is the chair of the Scott County Democrats. She questions a lack of public input before a new auditor was chosen. Flashback to Tuesday.
If this board is determined to take the anti-democratic position of appointing rather than electing, we could at least take a proper amount of time to consider who it is we're appointing.
The Scott County Board of Supervisors ultimately decided a special election was not necessary.
The cost of that election was estimated to be, it depends, but $35,000 to $50,000.
Carrie Tompkins has been appointed to the Scott County Auditor's vacancy.
And with that appointment,
how can you be trusted to run an election if you haven't actually been elected to that office yourself?
Iowa Senate Democratic leader Zach Walz joined this group, gathering signatures to force a special election.
The thing that's most important is that you have an auditor who's going to work to accurately run the elections. That's what the auditors do.
The group needs about 10,000 signatures by June 8th.
This petition drive isn't about electing a Democrat, it's about being able to elect who serves as county auditor.
A group of voters just wanting their voice to be heard. In Bettendorf, Josh Lamberty, WQAD News 8.
Now, organizers say they have several thousand signatures already. The Scott County Democrats will be out knocking on doors again tomorrow and throughout the week next week, this time in Davenport. In order to sign that petition, you do need to live in Scott County. Still ahead tonight, we have an all-new episode of Brewed, how a local brewery says they stayed afloat during the pandemic. We have a preview next. Welcome back. An all-new episode of Brood will be airing tonight that you'll definitely want to check out. This week's episode is highlighting the Great Revivalist Brew Lab in Geneseo. Brewer and co-owner Scott Leonard explains how they've been able to stay afloat during COVID and the unique way they're serving on tap.
One of the things that we do is, we don't have like I would call flagship beers or anything like that. Everything that we do is a one-off. I mean, trying to improve on recipes, trying to, interpret styles either authentically or differently. What can we do with it? What type of adjuncts and fruit and different things can we do? How much can we put in? How can we change seltzers? So it's been a really cool path that I think if I would have just started with flagship beers and recipes, I wouldn't be able to do that.
I mean, if they said we want you to do, we want a Farmer Brown, we want a 483, that wouldn't have been as interesting or appealing.
Not to me.
Right.
There are a lot of people that reminisce about those beers, and I do too, but it's kind of fun and freeing to be able to just, I don't want to say make whatever you want, but basically make whatever you want. I mean, because that inspires.
The new episode of Brood airs tonight right after our newscast. You can learn more about the show by checking out their website, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram page. Still ahead for us, though, tonight, a countdown to the John Deere Classic. How the big event has changed over the last 50 years, we take a look next.
And some big improvements in our weather pattern today. Those will carry on as we head into Memorial Day. In fact, getting even warmer too. Show you if it's warm enough to get the boats on the river for the holiday itself, and when we're going to see our first taste of some 90-degree weather and humidity too. We're tracking that next in your accurate forecast.
Welcome back. So we were talking earlier that, this weekend really was the start. People are trying to get out more, get on the boats. I saw some earlier today. You'll see that at the end of the newscast. It's just people wanting to get out.
Yeah, Memorial Day, typically the kickoff season, if you will, to boating, whether you're around the Mississippi, the Rock River, or your favorite lake. Certainly, though, you weren't thinking about that yesterday. I think a lot of us yesterday were thinking about where can I get a hot cup of soup or a hot drink still at the end of May. I know your options might be a little limited, but hopefully you were able to find something and survive the cold that we had yesterday with temperatures in the 40s. Today, a big improvement over that, mainly because we finally saw the full sunshine, and that really makes a huge difference this time of year. Quiet outside this evening on our Bridgepoint camera, not seeing a whole lot going on. Do want to show you, though, what's going to happen in terms of the bug population, because looking through some of the social media comments yesterday, a lot of folks asking, does this going to impact the bug population? Are we going to see fewer mosquitoes because of what happened last night and temperatures getting into the 30s? Well, there's some good news and some bad news. The bad news is these things are very smart. They're going to find shelter to get out of that extremely cold air. And we actually did verify on this recently, learning this information, that they'll actually seek piles of leaves, very thick grass, or they'll actually embed themselves in trees and hide there to escape the cold, to survive a little bit longer. What will happen likely, though, is we'll see the activity anyway slow down a little bit. It's not going to last very long, though. You'll see that activity pick up, especially as we head into next weekend, as the heat and humidity begins to move back in. That will re-energize them, if you will. So enjoy the little break now. It's not going to last forever. Let's go outside to the satellite and radar. All is quiet here on the Quad City region, but if you go to the west, you see some light showers towards Iowa. That weak system will push more cloud cover our way for tomorrow, but we will stay dry. So tonight, not nearly as cold. We're in the 40s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny to start the day, but then that decaying complex of rain to the west will send some clouds our way by the afternoon. Easily, though, hitting 70, I think, at least by tomorrow afternoon. So a nice warm day, light winds too. So good to be on the water. And then heading into Sunday night, a couple of residual clouds carrying on, but we do stay dry. So no rain tomorrow. Let's jump into Memorial Day, tracking some strong storms up to the north and northern Wisconsin. And notice we're in between the two systems here. We are not going to see rain, but we will see thicker cloud cover for Monday. It'll be mostly cloudy to nearly completely cloudy, but don't let that discourage you from making any outdoor plans. As of right now, I just don't see the support or the moisture to get any organized rainfall going around here in the Quad Cities, and that's certainly some good news. Then we're going to watch next weekend. I just kind of alluded that, yeah, it's going to be heating up in a big way. away. So far, a lot of the heat has been in the desert Southwest, but the pattern is going to be evolving this week as we go from cooler air to start. And then as we get to next weekend, the first weekend in June, the cooler air is out of here, and in its place, that much warmer, almost hot air coming in here by Saturday and Sunday of next weekend. And there's going to be humidity that will be coming with this too, really making quite the difference in our temperature pattern. Outside right now, 53 degrees in Davenport, headed for about 43, 42 degrees tonight. We've got widespread 50s, so that ensures that we're not going to be worrying about frost conditions at all. 42 for us, a few clouds, and still chilly. And then as we go into tomorrow, 70 degrees by the afternoon. We'll keep staying in the 70s too as we head into the rest of the Memorial Day itself. More 70s next week, a few stray storms possible Wednesday and Thursday, and there you see the heat by next weekend. Well.
Awesome. Thank you, Andrew. Coming up, the John Deere Classic is only 38 days away, and so much has changed over the last 50 years. We went into the vault and found a story from 1986 on how better halves of professional golfers kicked back during the tournament. That's next. Welcome back. A lot has changed in the 50 years since the John Deere Classic began. 35 years ago, the tournament wasn't even called that, nor was it at TPC Deere Run in Silvis like it is today. Let's take you back to 1986, where former News 8 reporter Susie Mackey shows us how much other things have changed as the wives of professional golfers take a much-needed break away from the course.
The John Deere Classic, 50 years of milestones, memories, and magic.
The better half of the PGA sometimes walks the course with their husbands, and other times they live by that bumper sticker that says, "When the going gets tough, the tough go shopping."
As golfers from all over the country cram the Oakwood fairways this week trying to win money doing what they do best, their wives have hit some of Davenport's finer shopping stores to do what they naturally like to do best. You can guess there were no complaints about leaving the golf course for just a little while to look, browse, and buy during their shopping spree in the village of East Davenport.
This is our number one fun time, I think, for all the wives. They really enjoy it, and sometimes we get in trouble.
The shopping is real fun, of course. All women love to shop, don't they?
This group of 15 wives was also treated to a luncheon and fashion show at Papagallo's. They were hungry, and yes, it was nice to get out of the heat and relax, but yes, you guessed it, they couldn't wait for more shopping.
I love shopping. I've already made quite a few purchases today.
But there's a lot more to these wives than their spending habits. Many of them find themselves without a permanent home, living out of a suitcase, and on the road most of the year. But they like their way of life and are very supportive of their husbands.
We have a house. We live in El Paso, Texas, and we haven't seen it that much this year. We've been gone more than usual. But, you know, you just get used to the traveling.
You have to like it because this is our life, and if you want to see your husband, you have to travel with him.
Bill and I are really a team when it comes to his career, and I think that the two of us work together very well. He needs, especially right now, an awful lot of support. I'm looking forward to not working this fall and being out a little more often with him.
And along with the fame, money, and exciting travel, one woman said there is definitely an advantage of being the wife of a professional golfer.
It's not nearly as boring as being a suburban housewife. No, hardly.
Susan Mackey, Activate News, Davenport.
There are 38 days now until we kick off the 50th year of the John Deere Classic. WQAD is proud to be the official station of the John Deere Classic. Still ahead, chasing perfection. Could the Rockridge softball team pick up their 21st win of the season? We'll show you next in News 8 Sports.
Vote for this week's Score Standouts by following the link on the sports page at WQAD.com or go to Twitter @TheScoreWQAD to cast your vote. Polls are open until Thursday at noon. That'll do it for sports. David, let's head back over to you.
Thanks, Corey. You know, we were talking before that a lot of pools opening, people wanting to get outside. I feel like the water, though, is just a little cool for me to get out. I just think I just need some time. But you say temperatures are going to be going up, so that's
yeah,
good.
we'll be improving that as the days go on here. So yeah, a little bit chilly even tomorrow to do that. 51 right now, no frost to worry about tonight as we stay in the 40s. But yeah, even Memorial Day itself, low 70s and cloudy skies. Even if you're boating, that's going to be a little chilly. So if you are going to do the pool thing, you know, a heated pool goes a long way this time of year. Until we get to next weekend, that's going to be the weekend where it'll be warm enough, plenty of heat, plenty of humidity, that you'll want to find a body of water to cool off in the pool, the river, or your favorite lake. That would be the perfect opportunity to do that. So initially a little cool, but I promise you by next weekend, things will be looking a lot better outside.
Awesome. Thanks, Andrew. And thank you for watching News 8 at 10. We leave you with a moment of silence as we remember all of the fallen heroes this Memorial Day weekend. Have a good night.